While the PG era was much cleaner and family-friendly compared to the Attitude and Ruthless Aggression eras, it still had some very inappropriate moments. Let's find out what WWE got away with. Number 10. In early 2019, Alexa Bliss was hosting an episode of her show, A Moment of Bliss. Right before she was about to go on stage, a production assistant went to tell her that her segment was coming up. However, when the man entered, Alexa Bliss was still in the process of getting dressed and didn't have her top on. This was so blunt and came from out of nowhere that it shocked a lot of fans. The moment lasted less than a minute and was a cheap way to get a reaction. That's why I'm ranking this one so low, on top of the fact that it didn't have an impact on anything. Number 9. Trying to push it, but WWE went even further with the storyline and had Jeff Hardy get in a car accident. However, the moment that was super inappropriate happened when the Celtic Warrior and the charismatic Enigma met in the ring for a contract signing. Before Sheamus would sign, he wanted Jeff Hardy to take a urine test. Hardy agreed, but he then threw his jar of pee into Sheamus's face. That's just disgusting. And yes, I know it's not real urine, but come on, that's pretty sick. Fox agreed and actually had this moment cut from some broadcasts. This seems like something you would see back in the 90s and not in 2020 PG era WWE. Number 8. Even in the PG era, WWE didn't shy away from using weapons. However, they really pushed the envelope at the Jericho and Dean Ambrose fought an asylum match with weapons hanging above the steel cage. One of them was a bucket that contained a bag of thumbtacks. The two men desperately tried to throw each other into the tacks, but ultimately, it was Chris Jericho who got slammed onto the bed of nails. Thumbtacks are not common in WWE, so it would have been surprising to see them in any match, but it was made even more so because it happened in the PG era. Not surprising, we haven't seen thumbtacks used in WWE since this match. Number 7. In the lead up to his match against Triple H at WrestleMania 25, Randy Orton began an all-out attack on the game's family. The most personal moment happened in the final weeks before the big match. With help from the Legacy, Randy Orton handcuffed the game to the ring rope. Then, when Triple H's wife, Stephanie McMahon, tried to save him, the Viper knocked her out cold with his signature DDT. The part that pushed the whole thing over the limit was when Randy Orton kissed Stephanie while Triple H helplessly watched on. The PG era wasn't even a year old at this point, so WWE was really trying to be kid-friendly. It's still amazing that they did all this. Number 6. Now believe me when I tell you, this was a real match WWE did during the PG era. Eye for an eye match. Just as it sounds, the only way to win was by extracting your opponent's eye. Rey Mysterio and Seth Rollins were the two who fought in this grotesque match stipulation. Both men tried to gouge each other's eyes, and I still have a hard time believing that this actually happened. The eventual winner was Seth Rollins when he got Mysterio's eye out of its socket. Of course, it was all scripted, but still, this is not family-friendly entertainment. Number 5. Alexa Bliss is responsible for a few inappropriate moments. After Randy Orton defeated The Fiend in late 2020, Alexa Bliss was not happy. It became her personal mission to make the Viper's life as miserable as possible. She did some messed up stuff, like making Orton puke black liquid, among other creepy and disgusting things. However, the evilest thing Alexa Bliss did happened on the January 11th, 2021 episode of Raw. Randy Orton was fighting his old rival, Triple H, when suddenly the arena went black, and Alexa appeared in the ring. She then did something unexpected, and shot a fireball into Randy Orton's face. We would see the extent of the damage the next week, when Randy had to start wearing a protective mask. Beating someone up is one kind of violence, but burning someone's face is a whole nother level, and that level definitely isn't PG. Number 4. The Usos and the New Day's rivalry in 2017 was awesome. They had some great matches, but the most memorable moment wasn't during a fight. On SmackDown, the two teams faced off in a rap battle, and despite the MC saying,
"We're gonna keep it clean, alright? Still PG."
The segment did not stay that way. The two teams were going at it, and then Jimmy Uso said this.
"Just don't get all rated R like your boy Xavier Woods."
Jimmy was referring to private videos of Xavier Woods with fellow WWE wrestler Paige that had been leaked a few months earlier. It was insane hearing this reference on WWE TV, and the moment was actually edited out when WWE put the clip on their YouTube channel. Number 3. Brock Lesnar is unlike any wrestler for a lot of reasons. One of them is the stuff that he was able to get away with during the PG era. One of the most shocking and inappropriate things Lesnar did was when he took on Randy Orton at SummerSlam 2016. Orton put in a good fight, but Brock is called the Beast for a reason. However, the most violent part was when Lesnar busted Randy Orton wide open. And I do mean wide open. The bloodshed was so bad, it rivaled what ECW was doing in the 90s. After Orton got busted open, the match basically came to an end right then and there. And it's a good thing it did. Reports later said that Randy Orton wasn't supposed to bleed as much as he did, but that doesn't change the fact that this is one of the most violent moments in PG era history. Number 2. Shortly after the 24/7 championship was introduced, Drake Maverick and R-Truth would start feuding for the title. The rivalry got heated up when Truth pinned Maverick during his wedding and won the title. Following the incident, Drake's wife, Renee Michelle, started appearing on TV with them. Once Maverick won back the title, he went on a honeymoon with his bride. This led to a segment where Drake Maverick and Renee Michelle were about to consummate their marriage, and it was incredibly inappropriate for a PG show.
Look, come on, little girl, just hold with me.
This felt like something fans would have seen during the Attitude Era and not on a PG, family-friendly WWE show. And number 1. On the last Raw before the 2015 Survivor Series, Paige and Charlotte had a contract signing for their match at the pay-per-view. It was all pretty normal stuff, and Charlotte even said she was doing the match as a tribute to her younger brother, Reid Flair, who had passed away in 2013 at the age of 25. This prompted Paige to say this.
You're wrong, sweetheart. Cause your little baby brother, he didn't have much fight in him, did he? Oh, come on!
This was a very inappropriate moment and crossed the line for a lot of people. It's unclear if the Flair family knew that the comment about Reid was going to be made or not, but either way, it still went too far. Even in the Attitude Era, this probably wouldn't have been appropriate. What makes it even more uncomfortable to watch is that Paige looks uneasy as she's about to say the line. We